So I was talking to a friend about a really old theory that I have some like updates recently, and I sent it to them over voice note. And I was thinking about how funny it is, the difference between how I present my theories and ideas on TikTok or any of my platforms really versus how I present them in person. If you talk to me over the phone, FaceTime, or even on my live streams, it's very different. And that's just because, especially the longer that I make content, I feel like I'm always having to provide like so much documentation. I always want to show that I've done my research, that I have proof for everything I'm saying, that there is like historical context. I'm not just like making things up or talking out of my ass. And you know, the longer you do it, like the more you're afraid of being like clipped or purposefully misunderstood, you know, whatever. So but I've kind of backed myself in the corner where like my YouTube, I wanted to be like deep dives. And then on my podcast, I wanted to be like a factual kind of straight informational place where you could go to kind of sort through, so you don't have to sort through all of like the theories and random TikToks and ideas and stuff. But now it's like that on every platform. I don't have a platform where I just yap, which is my number one skill, is yapping. So anyway, I'm going to upload my theory that I sent to my friend over voice note. So that's kind of embarrassing, but this is how my brain works all the time. And let me know if you would be interested in videos like that where I literally just yap. Because there's so much that I don't talk about or share because it's exhausting to provide all the information all the time. And I'm ADHD, my shit's everywhere, I'm very scattered. So I know I have it, but I just have to find it. And like, if there's anything I've ever said that I would talk about, or you've asked me to talk about and I haven't, it's because of that. It's because I have to go and dig for all of the like proof of it all. So anyway, here is my voice note theory on Bejeweled and Sapphire and Moonstone and all of that. Enjoy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Okay, I had to send this to you on a voice text because or a voice note because it's way too much. Okay, so in the movie Almost Famous, I don't even know if you have seen any of the visuals for Taylor's newest record, but this just plays it into it even more. So in the movie Almost Famous, the main guy, his name is William, and he is on a payphone in a hallway, right? And in Taylor's new visuals, there is a picture that literally matches it. But anyway, he's in a payphone and he's talking to his mom, and Kate Hudson, who's Penny Lane, and this other girl come up, and they don't know who he's talking to, and they're like, hey, like, we have some pot, whatever. And the girl who's with Penny Lane is like, your aura is purple. Oh my God, your aura is purple.
Your aura is really fantastic. Hey. It's this beautiful purple color.
I missed the last thing you said.
Your aura is purple.
I love you.
What?
Because she's like super high, right? And he's talking to his mom. And so anyway, then he ends up saying like, I love you to his mom, and he hangs up and they're like laughing at him. Okay, whatever. Then, much later in the film, the main guy, William, has written this story for Rolling Stone magazine and told the truth about this band, right? Told every single thing that he said was true, but the lead singer of the band was embarrassed by it. So he denied the entire thing to Rolling Stone. And so like ruins this kid's career. Now, mind you, he's only like 16, and this is based on a true story. Cameron Crowe, who's the director, it's based on a true story of him as a writer who like traveled around with all of these musical artists back in the 70s. Literally coolest life ever. Anyway, so decimates this kid. He doesn't get his article published. And so then the exact scene that we were just talking about where she's like, they eat all the steak.
Can you believe these new girls? None of them use birth control, and they eat all the steak. I mean, they don't even know what it is to be a fan. You know, to truly love some silly little piece of music or some band so much that it hurts.
Well, this girl named Sapphire, who is one of the groupies, they call them Band-Aids, and she is talking, again, to the lead singer of the band. And she's like, talking about the new girls don't understand what it is to like love music this much, and they eat all the steak, blah, blah, blah. And he's kind of laughing. And then she's like, he asked about Penny Lane because, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. And then he asked about William, and she's like, we all know what you did to him.
William?
Well, what do you care? I mean, we all know what you did to him. And everybody knows. Even Penny Lane.
Even Penny Lane. And so then he's like thinking about it. Anyway, later on, he goes on to correct everything with Rolling Stone and tell them that it was all true. Okay? Okay. So think about in the context of some guy said your aura's moonstone just because he was high. And a moonstone is also known as an opalite in some ways. Like there's opalite that's called moonstone opalites. And she just did that song Opalite. And the opalite sky in the Me music video. In the Me music video, the sky is literally opalite. Okay. And then think about her putting out these articles supposedly like denying, just like the CNN thing, right? Denying the queerness and stuff. And like how he ended up feeling so bad about denying these things that were true. And she's literally saying on Midnight, possibly, this is just my theory, that she also kind of threw everybody under the bus, even though these things were true. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And so now we're getting like Opalite, and she's giving us these visuals that has her at a payphone in the exact same way that William was in the film. And then in her interview, the podcast with Travis, where she's announcing this record, she talks about movies, and she's talking about like, oh, you know, the, I just blanked, whatever director of the guy who holds the boombox out of the window. And she's talking about Say Anything. But Say Anything was directed by Cameron Crowe, who also directed Almost Famous. It was not directed by the director that she says. You cannot tell me that she didn't know that, right? She was talking about John Hughes. That's who it was. John Hughes films. And she had to have known that because she studied all of these films back in the 1989 era because she got inspired by a lot of them. So she knew she was talking about the different director, right? And she was actually talking about Cameron Crowe, who also made Almost Famous. Okay? You get where I'm going with this? And interestingly enough, Cameron Crowe is putting out a biography of his whole life as a music writer in next year. That's coming out actually in just like a few months. And he also produced a TV show that starred MGK as like a roadie. I think it was called Roadies, and Halsey was in it as well. And those two have really been very, very active over the last year. So I'm just saying, and she wore the Penny Lane coat, and she premiered the All Too Well 10-minute music video film, whatever the fuck, at TIFF the same weekend that Almost Famous premiered at TIFF, just fucking 20 years later. Tell me that doesn't all connect and make sense. Like, I'm onto something. I just know it.